A very good morning, students. Standard 6 students, myself, Mrs. Dipali. Today we'll start your 10th chapter of history, that is Ancient India Cultural. See, student, language and literature. There was an uninterrupted literary tradition in ancient India. This literature was produced in the Sanskrit, Ardhamgadhi, Pali, and Tamil languages. It included religious literature, treatises on grammar, epics, plays, stories. Within that, first, Sangam literature. Sangam means gathering of learned men. The literature compiled in such gathering is known as Sangam literature. It is the most ancient literature in Tamil. Silapadikaram and Manimekhalai are two of its well-known epics. From Sangam literature, we learn about the political and social life in South India during this period. Religious literature. The important texts include Agam Grantha, Tipitaka, and Bhagavad Gita. The Jain Agam Granthas are written in the Prakrit languages of Ardham Gadhi, Shauraseni, and Maharashtri. The Ardham Granthas are a collection of the teaching of Vardhaman Mahavir. Literary works like Mahapuranas, biographies, stories, etc. are available in the Apabhransh language. Siddha Sen Divakar wrote Samay Sutta, a work in Prakrit on jurisprudence. Vimalasuri has told the story of Rama in Paulamacharya, a poetic work in Prakrit language. Hari Bahadur Suri, Samaraya Chakra, and Udyansari, Kuvala Malayakaha are well-known works on this religious literature. In that, Tipitaka has 3 pitakas or parts. The word pitaka means a basket of collection here, but here you have to take the meaning as a section. The Tipitaka is written in Pali language. It consists the 3 categories. First, Sutta Pitaka. It includes the text of Gautam Buddha's teaching or sermons. They are called the Suktas. Vinay Pitaka. The word Vinay here means the rules. The Vinay Pitaka gives the rules of behavior which bhikkhus and bhikkhunis in the Buddha Sangha should follow in their day-to-day life. Then Abhidhamma Pitaka. In this Buddhist doctrine has been explained a text titled Attakatha, that means Arthakatha, which explains the Tipitakas, is well known. Learned women compose the gathas, that is narratives about their own experience. It included into this. They have been compiled in the Thirigatha. They are in the Pali language. The Bhagavad Gita, which is sacred text of Hindus, is a part of this Mahabharata. The Bhagavad Gita tells us that each one of us should do our duty without expecting a reward. It also says that the path of devotion to God is open to all. Adi Shankaracharya lived during this 8th century. He emphasized knowledge and renunciation. He wrote commentaries explaining the Upanishads, Brahman Sutras, and the Bhagavad Gita. He established 4 myths in 4 directions of India at Badrinath, Dwarka, Jagannath Puri, and Sringeri. Kautilya wrote the Arthashastra, in which he discussed at length what he constitutes an excellent administrative system which can be run by any particular king or the emperor. Treatise on grammar. Ashtadhyayi, written by grammarian Panini, is considered to be the standard work on Sanskrit grammar. Patanjali wrote Mahabhashya. It explained the principle given in Panini Ashtadhyayi. Then Arsha and classical epics. See, student, Ramayana and Mahabharata are the 2 Arsha epics of ancient India. Arsha means composed by rishis or sages. The Ramayana was composed by Rishi Valmiki. The main character was Sri Ram. Mahabharata has been composed by sage Vyas. Its main theme, war between the Kaurava and Pandavas. It also tells us about the Lord Krishna's life. Mahabharata provides a comprehensive picture of the various human sentiments and emotions and their consequences. Even some experienced and scholar persons in religious, otherwise mythological language, otherwise knowledges, they always tell us about that if you have any particular problems, if you facing any particular calamity, you have gone through this Gita, you will get the answer of your every questions. This is their own experiences. Sometimes there is such a period in the history of language, literature, art that is its glory remains undiminished even later on. The art, literature, etc. produced in such a period is said to be a classical Raghuvansha and Kumar Sambhava by Kalidasa, Kiratajunya or Bharavi, and Shishupalavad by Magha are well known composition of the ancient period written in the classical Sanskrit.